Really a nice experience, because it's a huge university and I can go deep inside the cutting edge of technology. And at that time, there was a project that was called NBIC, Nanobioinfocogno. That was the idea of using biotechnology in the biological existence of the human beings to change the information inside the body and to obtain a cognitive effect on the mind. And so I can go deep with the best classes in neuroscience and also cognitive science and computational neuroscience. And I saw the experiment. And there is a lab near my office in which one researcher simply put a PCB, a small electronic device, inside the beetle, and he was able to control an alive beetle, making him flight or not flight. So the idea that there is an informational layer in the human beings or in the living beings that you can touch, you can interact with, it's much more than a prosthetic, adding a wing or something else. And so the idea at the time, it was 2008, 2009. Elon Musk and his implantation was not on the horizon, but you can see the first element to achieve that kind of results. So Georgetown was really a wonderful experience, because in Georgetown I got an outlook of the next 10 years, of the direction of some kind of research. Inside this NBIC project, there was one statement that say, look, if we would like that technology can go deep under our skin, we must make it acceptable for human beings. Start to produce wearable. And now you have smartwatch, smart glasses, and things like that. So it was great because you are touching where the most brilliant minds in the United States and in the world are pushing to in this relationship between human and technology. And I make it as an ethicist. That means, what does it mean, this, for a human beings? And this kind of question, I love to raise this kind of question in the public debate, because give me a really unique perspective. And so technology could be a wonderful tool of the worst of the weapon, and both use are possible. And the human beings is in the middle of the dual use of technology. And so with, for example, technology under the skin, you can cure a lot of pathology connected to the nervous system, or you can control a man like the scientist near my office was used to control the beetles. So I got a new job, making questions, more than looking for answers. And this is still what I do today.
La tecnología dentro de la piel, también conocida como Technology Under the Skin, pues ha experimentado importantes avances en las últimas décadas y se refiere a incorporar dispositivos electrónicos dentro del cuerpo humano para monitorear la salud, mejorar la funcionalidad o la comunicación. Y actualmente hay varios desarrollos que están siendo explorados, que incluyen chips implantables para monitorear la salud, los niveles de glucosa en la sangre, la presión arterial, la actividad cerebral y otros signos vitales. Son unas de las tecnologías más avanzadas que se están desarrollando. También están las prótesis biónicas, que permiten a personas con discapacidades físicas realizar tareas cotidianas como caminar o agarrar objetos con una mayor precisión y eficacia. O existen los tatuajes electrónicos, que incorporan sensores y circuitos en tatuajes temporales que se adhieren a la piel y se pueden utilizar para monitorear la salud o incluso proporcionar información en tiempo real a los médicos. Entonces, Paolo debe regresar.
Well, my grant was finished. I got also a proposal to stay there, but actually I have to defend my PhD. And then I started to teach as a university professor. So it's without any pause, And I started to teach, I published some book, I published some paper. I was involved with a lot of table in which the discussion about technology arise. And so I left my life and joined the order in 1999, Christmas Eve. So December 24th of 1999. Up from that day, I never stopped myself up to date. And I'm still on the same process of something new every day. And now I'm sitting, for example, in some commission to shift the innovation in process with AI to keep the human in the center, human in the loop. It happened, for example, with medicine, with justice, with economics. And I'm still there questioning technology and questioning innovation for people and asking to them, what does it mean that we are surrogating a human decision to an algorithm that not in 100% of situation is explainable? Or what does it mean that with the last LLM, like GPT-4, we can impact 19% of jobs? And we just discovered that these LLM that are trained with human reinforcement could have an ability to have a long plan or have a sort of agency that is a polite way to say that we don't control them. Can we allow them to decide for us if we don't control them? Or if we are not able to explain all the solutions that they ping on us, how much or how we should be trained to interact to a so powerful artificial intelligence, to avoid to be hallucinated or in some way taking a false position by this kind of intelligence or by this kind of system. So this kind of question need to be questioned, and the answer cannot come from only one competence. So for example, in medicine, cannot come just from doctor, neither from an hospital manager, neither by a politician, neither by a lawmaker. They have to be found like in a square in which everyone bring a piece of solution and try to define a workable solution that is the best possible solution that appear at the convergence of the different needs and exigencies.
Human in the Loop, Decisioni umane e intelligenze artificiali. Ya vieron cómo está más o menos mi italiano, ¿no? Pues es un libro de Paolo que salió en el 2022. Leyéndolo, hay varios temas fascinantes que él menciona y nuevas cuestiones. Lo primero es la importancia de mantener a los seres humanos en el proceso de la toma de decisiones que involucran la IA. Porque es que si estamos en la toma de decisiones, incluso en una capacidad de supervisión, pues podemos evitar hacer cosas injustas o inapropiadas. Además, antes de profundizar sobre estos temas, es interesante saber cómo Paolo está sentado constantemente con el Papa entregando su visión y opiniones sobre el tema. Porque hay una necesidad de entender la inteligencia artificial, no como una solución completa y autónoma, sino como una herramienta para ayudar en la toma de decisiones. Porque puede ser útil para mejorar la precisión y la eficiencia en esto. Siempre debe haber un ser humano presente para evaluar esas decisiones. Y ahí entra el valor de la ética y la responsabilidad en la implementación de la inteligencia artificial. Porque eso incluye ser mucho más transparentes y proteger los derechos de los seres humanos, de nosotros. Además, otra cosa que encontré en su libro es la importancia de la educación y la capacitación en este tema. Necesitamos saber cómo funciona, qué hacer, qué no, cómo poder trabajar, cómo poder maximizar nuestro impacto con la inteligencia artificial. Y claro, hay que abordar la brecha digital para asegurar que todos tengan acceso y no se generen más brechas en este mundo. Bueno, pues resulta que ese gran conocimiento y experiencia que tiene Paolo, sentándose en la Comisión Global sobre temas de inteligencia artificial y teniendo conversaciones profundas con el Papa Francisco.
Well, it happens that, Vatican State is a little bit complex. So there is the Pope, then under the Pope there are different, if it was in a normal state, we can say ministry. But for example, I'm sure you know a lot of Catholic universities. So education is something that is referring to the dicastery of education and culture. That is the equivalent of ministry. Can you imagine how much artificial intelligence can change the education in the next few years? So in that section, there is a table in which we are making some confrontation, some advising, also to bring to the Pope about that. And then there are things that are not under one of these dicastery. So for example, we make their own call for AI ethics. That is a propositive call, made for people, not made for Vatican. That means, transformations are so huge, so big, we need to do something to avoid that this kind of transformation simple get out of control. And IBM, Microsoft, FAO, Italian government, university start to sign this. And last January, Islam, Jewish, and Catholic signed together their own call. It's the first document that the three religions signed together with Microsoft and with IBM, So the cutting edge of technology, so deep tradition of religions, isn't it strange? It's happening. It's happening. It is the power of technology and transformation of technology that simply is asking to everyone to take position, to have an opinion, to challenge the transformation that are coming. It is the first document signed by the three about a topic. Okay, they meet together for other things, but having a common position on something is not easy. AI is so new, so there is no background on that, then they can take an easy position together.
Hagamos una pausa. Como sabes, en Hackers del Talento estamos en una misión: cambiar el mundo laboral por uno más humano, inclusivo y próspero. Sabemos que no podemos hacerlo solos, necesitamos tu ayuda. Te invitamos a compartir este episodio con esa persona especial que está buscando crecer en su carrera o mejorar su empresa. Juntos podemos inspirar a más talentos a sumarse a este movimiento. Queremos que te unas a nuestra comunidad, suscribiéndote al podcast, recibiendo las noticias en nuestra página de LinkedIn o averiguando más en hackersdeltalento.com. No te pierdas la oportunidad de ser parte de algo grande, de marcar la diferencia en el mundo laboral y de transformar la vida de miles de personas, porque juntos podemos hacerlo posible. Nosotros ya estamos aquí, dando el primer paso. ¿Y tú, te unes a nuestra misión de cambiar el mundo laboral por uno más humano? Hagámoslo juntos. Sigamos con el episodio. Nacido como Jorge Mario Bergoglio en Buenos Aires en 1936, se convirtió en sacerdote en el 69, nombrado obispo en el 92. 6 años después fue nombrado arzobispo de Buenos Aires y en el 2001 fue cardenal por el Papa Juan Pablo II. Pues resulta que el Papa Francisco fue nombrado como el 266º Papa de la Iglesia Católica un 13 de marzo de 2003, después de que su predecesor, el Papa Benedicto XVI, renunciara. Desde entonces ha sido un Papa totalmente diferente, por su enfoque humilde, comprometido con los pobres y marginados, por su inspiración, por su compasión y por sus ideas más modernas. Y hay varias frases de él que me inspiran. Por ejemplo, la globalización de la indiferencia nos ha quitado la capacidad de llorar. La paz en el mundo comienza con la paz en el hogar. El futuro no es un tiempo que viene después, sino un tiempo que creamos ahora. La verdadera riqueza no está en los bienes materiales, sino en el tiempo. No hay que tener miedo de la bondad ni de la ternura. La esperanza es la virtud que nos pone en camino, nos da alas para avanzar, incluso cuando los obstáculos parecen insuperables. Pues uno de los grandes temas sobre la inteligencia artificial que hemos hablado en este episodio es la ética. Así que ojo a esta explicación y a esta anécdota.
I try to answer to you with the example that my professor in Georgetown gave to me. When we were starting to go deep inside ethics of technology, he bring us to Manhattan, New York, over a bridge. The bridge was over the 6-lane highway that is connecting Manhattan with Long Island, where there is Johnson Bridge. And he asked to us, what do you see? Can you imagine? We was a smart group of a PhD. Everyone would like to be the smartest guys in the room. And we start to say everything, but actually the only answer was concrete and asphalt. Then he bring us to a public library in Manhattan, where we found a huge book of more than 600 pages That is the biography of the politician that made all the infrastructure in New York, Richard